Learning how to manage other people. It's crazy because I never thought I would be here at this part of my entrepreneurial journey. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, hello, my name is Jasmine. I'm so glad to have you. I have been a full-time entrepreneur now for 6 years. Crazy. Started during COVID. And for most of those 6 years, I was a solopreneur. So basically, I would create the content, I would run my page, I was doing everything. I was like a one woman show, right? And I realized over the years that that's not sustainable, right? Things are going to come up. I might get sick. I might want to take some time to myself, right? To rejuvenate, become creative again, right? And so I would find myself in this loop of working hard, putting in hella hours, working 18 hours a day, being tired and exhausted, and then hating my business because I'm doing everything myself. And I decided in 2026 that I had to do something different because what I've been doing wasn't working, right? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. There was a cap that I was putting on myself as to how much my business could make because I was refusing to do something different. And so this year I decided to really lock into hiring a team. And at first, I made the excuse of, well, I can't afford it, or nobody can do as good of a job as me. I'm the only one who can do this, right? And so those were the limiting beliefs that I had when it came to hiring people to help me, which is why I wouldn't do it. Or I also felt like I didn't really know how to hire people. But those were all just beliefs that were keeping me stagnant. My business had not grown since after COVID. My numbers were staying the same every single month. Sometimes they were declining. And in order to get to that next level, I had to do something different. So I decided to start hiring people, right? And let me tell you, I now have 6 people on my team. It is definitely, first of all, it was by far the best decision that I made. I'm so glad that I did this. I've had 6 assistants now we're going on almost 3 months now. And it's definitely helped the business. We're definitely growing. I feel relief because I'm not doing everything by myself. It allows me to enjoy making content because content is the thing that I have to do, right? I am the face of my brand. So I can't necessarily hire people to make my content, but I can hire people to edit and post and schedule and, respond to comments and all of those things. And so that has helped me tremendously. And I'm so glad that I did it. But it has unlocked a new version of Jasmine that I've never experienced before. Learning how to manage people, learning how to communicate better, learning how to be more patient. So one of the things, first of all of my assistants are great. I'm so glad that I hired them. Their energy is great. They really do try their best to put their best foot forward. They come up with new ideas for me, and that was one thing that I wanted in my team is people who know more than me in whatever it is that I hired them for and who can come up with new ideas and things to just make the business better. So I'm just so happy about that. One of the things that I've learned for myself is how to communicate better. And I've been reading books on how to do that, how to become a better leader. And I still have a long way to go. I have so much more to learn. But learning how to set expectations, learning how to allow people to make mistakes, learning how to not micromanage and be a control freak, learning how to allow people to work in a way that's best for them, right? Sometimes I'll see one of my, I train them, I give them, the workload, and then I'll be in my head, I'll be like, why are they doing it like that? Why don't they do it this way, right? But at the end of the day, we're all different. And as long as it gets done, as long as, it meets the standards of the business, it doesn't really necessarily matter how they choose to do it. This is all me learning how to give up control, right? It's taught me a lot. It has taught me a lot about myself. I have become a version of myself who has learned how to be more patient and learned how to communicate better. I've also learned how to create better standards of procedures, and that wasn't something that I did before. So SOP, standards of procedures, are just, the expectations of that role the step-by-step guide, how to get it done, so that anyone, ultimately the goal is anyone who comes into your business, they should be able to read the SOP, watch the videos, and be able to do it exactly how you want them to do it, whatever that thing is, right? The better your SOPs are, the better the person can follow along and get things done to your liking. But if your SOPs are all over the place, or if you left certain things out because you feel like it's common sense, well, the more difficult it's going to be for that person to come in and replicate you, right? So it's important that you make sure your SOPs are exactly how you would do something so that someone else can come in and do it just like that, right? That taught me a lot. Something else that I learned is I don't have to be the person training everybody. So I trained my first assistant on how to do everything. And then when I brought in the second one, I had her train that person, right? That takes me out of training mode and can put me back into creating content mode, right? And so this whole part of my entrepreneurial journey, like I said a few minutes ago, has just been new to me. It's exciting because eventually I want to hire managers and people to, oversee the assistants. I want to eventually have a VP and executives, directors, all the things, because my goal is to take my business to 100 million. Like, I know that sounds like an absurd goal, but that's always been a goal of mine, to just keep climbing that ladder. And I recognize now that I will never be able to get to that point, that destination, if I'm a solopreneur, okay? I think a lot of times, at least for myself, as entrepreneurs, as content creators, what we've essentially done was just create a business for ourselves most of the time. Not always, most of the time, right? So for myself, I went from working a 9 to 5 to running my business, but my business was really just a job. It's really just a job. It's a job that's mine, right? I love it, but I still just created a job for myself. That's what I did. That's what I did. And in the process of having all those things to do, all that admin stuff that really doesn't necessarily need me, it's taking me out of creative mode. It's taking me out of learning mode. I can't really learn if I'm spending 20 hours a day doing a whole bunch of administrative stuff. I can't really be my most creative if every single day I'm burning myself out, right? So I'm just so excited to see what the future holds for me and my business and my team. And I cannot wait to share more with you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I cannot wait to read what you have to say. Also, you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do not forget to join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.